It's late afternoon at Dolphin Frames. Scott Gobber and his assistant, Wesley Landis, slide one of two glittery panels onto a large work table. There's a scene of 6 young men in colorful clothing in a field of golden glitter. Gobber says his frame shop is known for simplicity, for frames with clean, straight lines.
Ultimately, a frame is just a utilitarian object to protect something that is valuable. Our philosophy is to keep things very, very simple, to let the art do all the work, let the frame just, in a sense, be a utilitarian object that merely encapsulates it and keeps it protected.
The process of building a frame, big and small, is slow, steady, and painstakingly precise. Archival mat board is measured many times before cuts are made. Scott Gobber says precision is key.
Everything has to be done right. Now, there are times when things have to be done over. We try to avoid that. But you have precise measurements, and things need to be those measurements. If they're not, then it doesn't look right.
When the Nerman Museum of Contemporary Art acquired this mixed media work by the Jamaican-born artist Ebony G. Patterson, they commissioned Dolphin Frames to build its massive 8 by 9 foot white lacquer frame. When artwork is supersized, Gobber says framers need to get creative.
If something's long but not so tall, it's a little easier. But when they're very large in both dimensions, it becomes more difficult. And basically, because materials that we use, and these are all archival materials, they don't come in sizes that are that large.
Wesley Landis handles all aspects of framing, from woodworking to finishing frames of all shapes and sizes.
My main role and position here is finishing off artwork, so I get frames and artwork and I put them together in a package and finish them up. There's going to be a lot of challenges with this one. It's a large frame, it's due very soon, and it's made 90% out of glitter, so that's going to be fun.
Glitter, of course, is, it's semi-permanent, I suppose. And a lot of glitter, we know a lot of glitter will be falling, cascading from this piece down into the bottom of the frame. We just don't want it to be all over our plexiglass. And it'll be a battle.
Not all framing jobs are as complex as this one, but Gobber says solving problems is just part of the job.
A person would think that framing is a fairly straightforward operation, but often it isn't. It's a new challenge every day. So, it's always interesting, and it's always exciting, and it's always a little dreadful as well sometimes, but we have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, and generally we can handle anything that's thrown at us.
That's mainly what this job is about, is problem solving, thinking things through, knowing the procedures that vary based on the parameters of each project. So I used to think large was like 6 feet by 5 feet, but when you get into stuff that's 10 by 8 or larger, you just gotta think it out a little more and work with each process, and sometimes you need 5 people to get something done, so you get us all in the room and kind of direct people on how it needs to happen and try to keep everyone on the same page.
As important as framing is to the presentation, Gobber says it's often an afterthought in the artistic process.
As much as artists, try not to maybe even consider their audience, they're probably not going to consider their framer when making something that has glitter on it, or pastels are notoriously difficult. We have lots of challenges that way. But should artists think about that? No.
When the artwork is safely nestled in its frame, Gobber says there is both satisfaction and relief.
It's always a good feeling when that's completed, when you rise to that sort of frenzied point of this has to happen right, and then it does, and we can sort of relieve ourselves of it. It's like, okay, it's yours now. Thank you.
Once the final piece of tape secures the plastic sheeting covering the Nerman's glittery artwork, there are no grand celebrations. Gobber simply looks around the shop for the next frame to build.